Hello friends, welcome to Free Writing Lessons. In this video, we will learn all about dialogue completion. First, we will understand what is dialogue completion. Then, we will look into the steps to complete a dialogue. And finally, we will understand it with an example. So, without further ado, let's get started. Before understanding what is dialogue completion, let's quickly remember what we have already learned about dialogue writing in our previous video related to it. First, we understood what is a dialogue. A dialogue is a verbal conversation between two or more people. It simply means talk between two or more people. Then, we learned two main reasons to learn the art of dialogue writing. Number one, it makes us understand the colloquial way of talking English. And number two, it trains us to express our thoughts in easy and natural constructions. Then we learn the 5 important characteristics of a good dialogue, which are: it should be spontaneous, it should be natural or realistic, it should be interesting, it should be impartial, and it should be concise. After that, we learned the 3-step formula to write a dialogue. The steps are: number 1, imagine. You need to imagine the character and their point of view. Number 2, outline. The next step is to jot down briefly the argument or opinions of each of them. And number 3, arrange. The final step is to arrange these ideas in some logical order. And we understood this step with an example. Now let's learn what is dialogue completion. A dialogue completion is a kind of a task in which two or more speakers are involved in a conversation. Here, some dialogues are left empty that needs to be completed based on the context of previous and next dialogue. For example, there is a conversation between a shopkeeper and a customer. Shopkeeper: Hi sir, how may I help you? Customer: My mobile's display is broken. Can you repair it? Shopkeeper: Sure sir, fill in the blanks. Customer: It's Vivo V15 Pro. Here the third line is purposefully left empty. This line needs to be completed. This is called dialogue completion. As per the conversation, you may say that the third line will look something like this. Shopkeeper: Sure sir, what is the mobile name and the model number? I hope now you are clear what is dialogue completion. In dialogue writing, you have to build an entire dialogue based on your understanding. While in dialogue completion, you have to fill the dialogue which is left empty. Let's look into the steps to complete a dialogue. Number 1, read. Firstly, read the entire conversation once to understand the main idea of the dialogue. Number 2, analyze. Start from the top. Whichever dialogue is incomplete, check the previous and next dialogue to understand its context, and then form the best possible answer. Number 3, check. While checking, 2 points need to be taken care. Number 1, punctuation mark. Check the punctuation mark of the sentences in dialogue completion. This will give an idea of whether the line that needs to be written is a sentence, question, or exclamation. And number 2, tense. Check the tense of the sentences around the dialogues so that you get an understanding of the tense that needs to be used in dialogue completion. Based on these 3 steps, try to complete a dialogue. Now, let's understand these steps by an example. The question is, complete the following dialogue between a mother and a daughter. Mother: What are you doing? Daughter: Mother, I am busy with my homework. Mother: It's okay, but your room needs cleaning. Why don't you clean it up? Daughter: Fill in the blank. Mother: But how can you study in this mess? Daughter: It's alright, and then again fill up. Mother: It may not bother you, but it is not the right habit. Again fill up. Daughter: No, I will clean my table also later. Mother: With such an untidy table, how are you going to write? Daughter: fill in the blank. Mother. Sitting on the bed to write, that is a bad habit. As you can see, there are 4 fill-ups that needs to be filled. Let's start solving the dialogue completion activity. Step number 1 is to read the passage once to understand the main idea of the dialogue. After reading, we understood that the conversation is between a daughter and mother regarding cleaning the room. The daughter is doing her homework, but the mother is insisting on her to clean the room. The next step is to analyze the sentences before and after the fill-up. And the final one is to check the punctuation mark and tenses to solve the fill-ups. So there are 4 fill-ups to be completed. Let's look at each of them one at a time. Mother, it's okay, but your room needs cleaning. Why don't you clean it up? So here the mother is advising her daughter to clean up the mess. In the sentence after the fill-up, mother says, but how can you study in such a mess? So based on this sentence, we can write the fill-up in this way. Daughter, I will do it after I finish my homework. Notice how it is in sync between the 2 sentences. Similarly, you need to solve the other 3 fill-ups. After completing the remaining 3 fill-ups, they will look something like this. Daughter, it's alright, my homework is very important, so it doesn't bother me. Mother, it may not bother you, but it is not the right habit. At least clean your table for now. Daughter, don't worry mom, I will write on the bed. Now you can pause the video and read the entire conversation. I hope you would have understood how to solve this type of question. Now I am giving you an exercise to practice. The question is, complete the following dialogue between a teacher and a student. Please message me your answer in the comment section. I will be waiting for your reply. That's all about dialogue completion in this video. Let's quickly revise what we learned in this lesson. First, we understood what is dialogue completion. A dialogue completion is a kind of a task in which 2 or more speakers are involved in a conversation. Here, some dialogues are left empty that needs to be completed based on the context of the previous and next dialogue. Then we looked into the steps of dialogue completion. Number 1, read. Number 2, analyze. And number 3, check the punctuation and tenses around the sentences. And we understood the steps with an example. Finally, I gave you an exercise to practice, whose answers you will be giving me in the comment section. That's all in this video. I have taken the reference of English study book of writing skill from Camp publication to make this video. Thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, share and subscribe in case you found the video helpful. All the best for your upcoming exams. We will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye.